This is Gisèle WERTHEIM AYMéS, and today we are doing lessons in longevity with Gary Player. You know, obviously you're in a different league because you are an elite. I mean, you're an elite athlete. You're an athlete at a level that most people would not probably even relate to. But you've been consistently like that all your life. You could just be enjoying yourself now. You could be on a cruise ship line in a lounger.
And I'm so full of ambition and exercising harder and eating less. And I, but I think you said something that's prevalent. You said, I waited until I had a scare. No, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Because I've been around. My mother died of cancer. My sister died of cancer. My niece had cancer. My daughter's had cancer. My wife died of cancer. So I've seen a lot of it.
I'm sure that you get yourself tested quite regularly, because when you share a little bit about what you do test for, what you think is important.
Blood pressure. Blood pressure is very important for everybody. Everybody should have their blood pressure checked all the time. 85/25 is their target. Sugar.
I was looking to see if you wear one of these tracking devices, Gary.
No, they wanted me to wear one, but I don't. I'm very anti a lot of things like anti-perspirant under your arm, it goes in, and creams that you put on your skin.
Well, there's some very interesting ingredients in those things that are not great.
Yes, you know
in most deodorants.
Yeah,
yes,
so
I know.
I don't use underarm deodorants. I don't use a lot of soap. I've got a special soap. I do a lot. There's so many things that I do that people don't
So you
ever
keep
wear.
it very clean. So you try and so it's organic and clean. And I know your diet too is pretty. I've read a lot about it, and I know one of your grandchildren has kind of pioneered vegan eating and restaurateuring in South Africa, which has been amazing. But tests, how important are tests? Because again, that's something a lot of us, I think I'm pretty good, but a lot of people are not good at testing. They don't want to know the result.
You've got to test, I think every 6 months, because something comes on so quickly now. I found melanomas on my head by testing on my body. I found melanoma. I'd be
and those
dead.
are very dangerous.
Very dangerous. I test sugar, but I also keep my mouth very clean. Flossing. Keeping your mouth clean. Very important, because that has a great effect on your health. Great effect.
But have you thought about how long you want to live?
Oh, yes. My ambition is to live to 100. Now, I might be hit by a truck tomorrow.
But that would not be your fault.
You never know. But
so now, Gary, there must have been like some really new age, weirdo, interesting treatment that you might have had for health that was really cool, that you would like to share. Maybe it didn't work, maybe it did work.
Well, everywhere you go, they got their so-called bottle of, survival,
Some magic. Some secret potion.
I think this, I'll never forget on my farm when I was farming at Colesberg, what we have in our family is green juice. Now, you ask somebody to do this, they ain't going to do it. Raw garlic, I might believe in. Onions, red onions, cabbage, broccoli, spinach, carrots. And you put them in a blender and you zap it up. And when you taste that, it's terrible. But you can put a little honey in, and I use honey in all the foods that I even put honey on scrambled eggs.
Wow.
So I never use sugar. If I can, I always, as you can see, honey for our tea.
Okay.
I often take a chopped up offset garlic. I'll put it in a tablespoon of honey and just swallow it.
Yeah. Well, garlic is, it is magic, actually.
It actually,
yes.
What's it?
It's an antiseptic, but it's antibiotic. It's got also
kills worms.
So many
any worms in your system.
Yeah.
And it's they've used it for thousands of years. And red onion, but the greens, you've got to have that dark green. That's what, and beetroot. You've got to have these things.
Yeah.
Most people don't worry about it, But we've got a vegetable garden here. So we grow everything ourselves, which is important. And I did that on my farm at Colesberg. You've got to take lots of beetroot. You've got to take cabbage. I often just buy a cabbage and eat pieces of cabbage when I'm in the car or something like it.
Well, that's the gut. That's the gut health.
Little things that are so easy. You've got to keep your gut clean. Gut is so important. Very few people do that. So it's understandable why people are dying at young ages and getting all these diseases. It's terribly important. It's terribly important. Your health is the most important thing in your life, and your faith for me is my second. But your health, if you don't have health, you don't have anything.
Yes, you can have all the money in the world, it won't buy it back. Yeah.
And by having your tests that you do, they can tell you don't have enough vitamin D. Most people don't because they work in an office, and vitamin D is essential. So that's why you must And the other thing you've got to have is a good doctor. Now, GOOD, good doctor. How many are there? Do I want to go to a doctor? He's sitting there, he's fat, he smokes and he drinks. No, I don't want to go to that guy, because most doctors never go on courses on food. It's not their forte. And yet people are going and asking. They have no idea, but they're asking a doctor. Now, horses for courses. Find a good doctor, which is very important.
Do you take vitamins, by the way?
I do. I take vitamins for a while, then I stop. I take mushrooms in a while.
Adaptogens.
Yeah, but I don't stand anything long. I just take it from time to time. But magnesium, I try and take a little bit every day, a little bit of magnesium. So
very underrated compound.
Very underrated. There is somebody on the earth today who's living, who's been born now, that will live to 140.
No, easily. May even live to 200. And that is what the science is saying. And that is for sure.
Yeah.
Whether they will have quality of life is the different story, but that's the choice, right? Yeah. So I'm going to make a date with you, Gary, that we will see each other. You turn 100. When you hit that centenarian status, just add it to your list of accolades.
But we must remember with living, most people that are living to say, well, very few people are living to my age, but let's say to 85, they're not living, they're existing. And so the big thing is a great thing in living and existing.
Well, it's Healthspan versus lifespan. Yeah. So we choose Healthspan. And we'll see you when you're 100 and you still running around that golf course teaching 100 people to play golf for 8 hours.
Thank you.
I'm sure that you will inspire many people to just rethink their health and longevity. It is a gift. Thank you, Gary.